My name's Thomas Sever.
Harry Williams.
And I'm Nigel Farage.
What's your view on apprenticeships?
Do you know, I think we're sending too many youngsters to university. When I left school 30 years ago, 12% went to university. Now it's 44%. My target is 50%. Now, if you're academic, then university is the right route for you. But if you're not academic, you're coming out with a weak degree, debt round your neck, and no advance in the workplace. And I think a lot of people from the age of 16 onwards should be learning trades and skills. We have a huge skills shortage in this country because we're teaching too many people ologies that aren't doing them any good in the real world.
What's your view on making education more relevant, especially within the workplace in terms of business studies curriculum, and do you think entrepreneurship should be taught to everybody?
I'm not sure you can teach entrepreneurship. I think it's either within the person or it isn't. But what you can do is to encourage people to think in that direction. And my feeling is, and this part of Yorkshire may not be the worst, but go to the inner cities where an awful lot of youngsters whose parents can't afford for them to go to private schools are going to comprehensives that are frankly not much better than remand schools. There's all sorts of linguistic diversity and problems, and we are letting down hundreds of thousands of young people every year. And it links back a little bit to the first question, that a lot of people should be learning trades and skills. And with those trades and skills, they then set up their own businesses, and then they become entrepreneurs, you know, if that's what suits their personality. So I think the education system is really failing a generation, I'm afraid. Sad, but it's true.
Why should young people vote for UKIP?
Because we believe in liberty and freedom and governing ourselves, and we're against the rotten status quo of boring old men that have been appointed to positions in Brussels, nearly all of them failures in their own domestic politics. That's the first reason, that we are the progressive party of the future. We want democracy, we want liberty, we want the ability to govern our own country. Second reason is that, to my parents' generation, Europe seemed quite a big, exciting place. In those days, people didn't travel very much. And now Europe is in fact a little boring backyard. No one goes to Frankfurt on their gap year. You know, they go to the Andes or they go to Singapore or whatever it is. And the UKIP message is, we disengage politically with Europe but maintain friendship and trade, and we re-engage with the rest of the world, and we pursue a global future for Britain, not just a little European one. And I think to young people, with cheap travel, with iPhones, internet, and with the global perspective that young people have, I think that's a very attractive proposition.
What is UKIP's position on university tuition fees?
Well, if we weren't sending so many people, we wouldn't need to charge as much, would we? I mean, if we got back to a sensible level of sending people to university, we could reduce the tuition fees down to virtually nothing. So let's send fewer people to pursue academic skills until we're 21, 22, and let's not effectively, discriminate against some people who, frankly, in many cases should be going but can't afford to go. So it's all the wrong way around, in my opinion.
How would UKIP help small businesses?
By deregulating, by getting off their backs the excesses of environmental, health and safety and employment legislation, and I feel very strongly on the third one. You know, I talk to small companies and I say, will you take on a school leaver? They say, forget it. You know, if after a year the business has a downturn or the person proves to be no good, we have to get rid of them. We can't afford the legal fees. We don't want the industrial tribunal. And if we were to deregulate small businesses and to launch a scheme that I would call Give a Youngster a Chance, if just 1 in 4 small businesses took on a school leaver and gave them an opportunity, knowing that if they wanted to get rid of them, there weren't going to be severe financial penalties, we'd wipe out youth unemployment. All right? Very good.